Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm going to be doing a review on the Tidal Boxing Spider Bag. So stay tuned. Hey, what's up guys? Carlo here, and today I'm doing a review on the Tidal Boxing Spider Bag. This retails for $79 through TidalBoxing.com. Comes in this one colorway and only one size. It's all black leather with red welted seams. And sizing wise, it is 8 inches in diameter This bag is manufactured in Pakistan, like the vast majority of Title Boxing products. If you do need a replacement bladder, obviously you can pump this up or deflate it, but if you need a replacement bladder, you can also go to titleboxing.com, and it's going to be the Quick Tech model of bladder, which are $5.99, so they're relatively inexpensive. Quality-wise, this bag is pretty standard for a Title Boxing product. Same kind of leather that they use in their Super Speed bag, the yellow Speed bag that Floyd Mayweather uses. The welted seams are pretty solid. This doesn't have any plastic patches, which I'm very thankful for. Title does put that on some of their products, like the Super Speed bag, where it has this plastic patch and it has kind of sharp edges. So I definitely like the fact that you don't have that on here. So you have the Title Boxing logos, the one with the triangle, you have the inflation port right there, the red welted seams, and it kind of reminds me of like a softball when you look at it, but just bigger. Then you also have obviously the leather straps right here that are metal riveted in. So overall, the durability is good. At the end of each leather strap, you also have a metal D-ring. If there's any weak point in this bag, I would say it would be this metal D-ring right here. The good thing is that you can go to like any hardware store and they typically have these and even thicker, better versions of these. So you have these black D-rings on each end, and then you have a carabiner that connects to a 72-inch resistance, basically resistance cord. So it's that rubber PVC stretchable type of band that you see in those resistance bands that you can use to do exercises with, like bicep curls using your shoulders. So the same kind of material, and then at the very other end is going to be another carabiner, again 72 inches in length, which is good for most households and especially gyms. Obviously the best case scenario is to use this in a boxing ring. So you would connect each one of these into the four corners of the boxing ring, ideally at the top turnbuckle. That way, height-wise, you want the bag to be kind of like right at nose level. You know, obviously it's never going to be a perfect case scenario, so anywhere within that range is good, which forces you to be able to bob and weave underneath the slip line. So one thing I love about this bag and why it's been on my radar for such a long time is when it first came out, I remember seeing a video a couple years ago with Robert Guerrero in his gym in Gilroy, California, where he was hitting a horizontal double end bag, except it just had two bungee cords connected to it. And he would hit it and it had much more of a up and down, back and forth, even a rotating motion, just depending on how you hit it and if you hit it on time. And to me, that was very different than your traditional double end bag. And I've done a ton of reviews on those, but you can kind of get the timing and your speed and everything down with the double end bag, especially once you get used to the rhythm of it. Where this is definitely much more erratic, so it makes it a much harder experience in terms of trying to get used to it, because you're constantly trying to figure out if it's going back and forth or if it's going up and down depending on how you hit it. So when you add two more straps to it now, it makes it even better, because now you can put it and kind of create the quadrant in the boxing ring and work on bobbing and weaving underneath the slip line, going in, putting in your combinations, working on your punches, and then stepping out and maybe slipping back out and bobbing and weaving. So it forces you to work on the conditioning of your legs, because you're constantly making sure you're bobbing and weaving and being defensively responsible. But at the same time, now you can also add in your punches. So you're not just bobbing and weaving in shadow boxing, you're actually hitting a real target that moves and forces you to use your hand and eye coordination. The other good thing about the slip lines being in the four different quadrants is that you don't get lazy with your movement. You don't just move laterally and don't move your head. So this kind of forces you to move laterally, step over, go underneath the punch, and then attack, and then maybe step over and go back the other way and attack again, maybe step back in. So it obviously it offers much more versatility to me than a double end bag, which is why I love this. This has probably been the hardest thing for me to get used to. I'm still working on it. My timing is still a little bit off, so I'm still continuing to do it. But because of that, it motivates me to use this thing even more, because I feel like I haven't mastered it and I have a long way to go into being proficient at using the spider bag. So to me, this is kind of like the next level of double end bag for those of you that are looking to not only increase your hand and eye coordination skill from a target that's more erratic than a traditional double end bag, but also work on bobbing and weaving, stepping over. I'm doing all that. Now lastly, so for those of you that are at home and you're wondering, well, how the hell am I going to use this in my house? Obviously, I recommend a space that's going to be large enough to be able to connect a 72-inch cord. So you might have to measure whatever room this is going to go in, preferably your garage, I would hope, maybe your backyard. And the next thing is you're going to have 4 connection points, obviously across from each other. So if you have maybe a fence, stucco, concrete, you can go to like your local hardware store, Home Depot, Lowe's, and get those, drill a hole and then get those little metal eyelets. And then from there, you can connect the carabiner to each one across from each other. Just make sure that whenever you drill those little eyelet hooks into the wall, that is the correct level. If you have more than one using it, then you might have to drill a couple extra. So maybe you have someone younger in your household that's shorter than you and you want them to use it too, then drill another eyelet that's a little bit lower and then connect it to that. So there's definitely different ways of installing it. But if you're at home in your garage, just find an area to where you don't mind drilling into to connect it to. You can also wrap it around and kind of hook it on itself. But again, just make sure that it's like on a pillar, something really stable, like a piece of wood that's in the ground that's planted, a fence pole, just something that's sturdy that when you hit this and it pulls on whatever it's connected to, it doesn't rip it out. But definitely my favorite skill bag that I'm using right now for the price of $79. It's a great value. Value to price ratio, I think it's great. Even if you can get it at a discounted rate, that's even better. But highly recommend the Tidal Boxing Spider Bag. So if you guys have any questions or comments, make sure you guys leave them down below in the comments box. I'll put the link in the description box where you can find the spider bag. See you guys later. Take care.